Welcome to Celestia Astrology. I'm Sonia, and thank you for joining me to look at this full moon in Gemini. At this full moon, we're seeing the universe offering us an opportunity for introspection. It's quite a challenging full moon that we're seeing at the moment. There's some challenging aspects and an awful lot of Mercury energy. Mercury is the ruler of this full moon, and we're seeing him pop up in quite a few of the aspects and also in multiple ways that he's ruling this full moon. So the lunation is occurring. The moon is in the sign of Gemini, which is very expansive and communicative. The ruler Mercury is known as the messenger god. Mercury is known for being able to reach the parts of the universe that the other planets can't reach. He can travel further and faster than any of the other planets, and he's the ruler of Gemini. And Gemini embodies the duality of thought, communication, and the quest for knowledge. And so this full moon invites us to embrace the polarity both within ourselves and also among our surroundings. In our exercise today, I'll be looking at reflecting on that. This full moon also has challenging aspects. It forms an opposition to Mars in Sagittarius and also a square to Saturn in Pisces. So the opposition to Mars infuses a sense of assertiveness and fervour, and oppositions are of the nature of Saturn. And then the square to Saturn is of the nature of Mars. So we see how both of these planets, which were known in traditional astrology as malefics, Saturn was the greater malefic and Mars was the lesser malefic. They're sometimes misunderstood as being thought of as evil planets. It's not about being evil. It's about, they bring about events that we can judge as events we don't enjoy, things we don't prefer. The other planets, for example, Mars is currently in Sagittarius, and so is Mercury, and Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is the greater benefic, and we tend to enjoy benefic planets. But in reality, the benefic planets that we see bringing events that we perceive as good can also bring about events that can be too much for us. So Jupiter can expand things, but sometimes he can expand things that we don't want to be expanded. For example, our waistline. You don't want that to be expanded. So it's a case of really looking to see not whether we judge things as good or bad, but just it's the nature of the planet's energy that Jupiter is going to expand and Mars is going to cut away and cut off things. Mars is the planet of war, and Saturn is a planet of maturity and lessons, sort of a colder planet, and Mars is a hot planet. So we're looking at this energy of Mars and Mercury, who is the ruler of the moon, both in Jupiter's temple at the moment in Sagittarius, and Jupiter is expanding that Martian energy and the energy of the messenger planet who's ruling the sign of Gemini. So there's this cross communication going on where the planets are working together. So we have this opposition which creates a tension that's of that nature of Saturn, and that means that it brings a maturing aspect and it brings lessons in. So the Mars is bringing in conflict, the potential for conflict. It demands assertiveness and courage, and that's the kind of energy that it brings to us, and also possibly passion, where it's in Jupiter and in Jupiter's temple in Sagittarius. Then the square to Saturn is offering us a call for discipline and a pragmatic approach. And Saturn's in Pisces, and again that's ruled by Jupiter as well. So we see both of these challenging aspects. Jupiter's involved as well, so there's that benefic energy of expansion, and Jupiter brings wisdom, is challenging our beliefs. So the moon in Gemini is looking for this quest for knowledge, but is receiving this feedback, if you like, of challenge and a need for a maturity and a discipline and assertiveness in return. Full moons are a time of completion, sort of an end to a journey, or seeing what we've created. So there may be insights and revelations that come through for you, and it's possible that may happen during the exercises we work through it, or you may get insights afterwards as well. Also, as we look at Gemini, we see that Gemini is a masculine or yang oriented sign, which means that it's outgoing rather than being inward and reflective. The energy is more about doing and being out in the world. And it's also an air sign, which reflects like that it's intellectual. It's about thoughts, words, and actions. And it's also mutable or double-bodied air sign. So that shows like a flexibility, a way that it manages to sort of straddle seasons, if you like. It comes in the calendar rather than being at the beginning of a season or in the middle. And that shows how with Gemini it's the sign of the twins, and it shows how it's able to present these two different faces and be two different things at once. So this essence enhances the adaptability, the intellectual agility, and the ability to embrace change within the energies of this full moon. And I also mentioned that the full moon occurs opposite its ruling planet, Mercury, and Mercury is in Sagittarius. So this amplifies the significance of communication, of mental acuity, and of adaptability. But also the lunation, the moon, is residing in the decan of Mercury. So this is like doubling up on this energy of Mercury, and this enhances the intellectual and communicative traits associated with this full moon. So having looked at the astrology of the full moon and what it might mean for us, I would also say that this will be most felt by the double-bodied signs, by Gemini, by Virgo, by Sagittarius, and by Pisces. And if you've got planets in any of those signs, your sun, moon, rising, or any other planets, they're the signs that are most likely to feel the impact of this full moon. So if you're ready, we'll begin the Astromindfulness exercise. I'd like to invite you to make yourself comfortable and sit or lie down however you're most comfortable. Begin to bring your attention to your breathing. Center yourself in the present moment. You may wish to close your eyes gently, or just rest your gaze gently downwards. As you bring your attention to your breathing, you don't need to alter it in any way. Just breathe and concentrate on following the passage of the air as you breathe it in, and try and trace its journey through your body. In through your nose, you feel it at the back of your throat. You feel its travelling journey down your throat, into your chest, into your lungs. Notice if you pause between breaths. And then how does it feel as you breathe out? Just sit breathing for a moment. You may find that your mind wanders, and that's okay. That's what our minds will do. And if your mind does wander, just gently bring it back. That's practicing mindfulness. Every time that you just gently bring it back, know that you're practicing mindfulness. And as you breathe, notice if there's a spot where you feel the energy of the air most. Maybe it's your nose when you enter it. Maybe you may feel the temperature of the air there. Maybe it's in your mouth or the back of your throat. Maybe it's at your neck or your chest. Maybe it's at your heart center or your lungs. As you breathe in, see if you can identify that spot. In mindfulness, we call this place your anchor. And see if you can now consciously breathe just into your anchor. And then release and exhale. Just breathe into your anchor for a few moments. Your anchor is always with you, wherever you go in your day, whatever's around you. You don't need to be in a silent place. You don't need to be on your own. You don't need to have a candle lit or anything. Whatever's going on around you, whether you're walking or sitting, you can breathe into your anchor and no one need know what you're doing. And you can just take 1 breath, 3 breaths, 5 breaths, however long you've got time for. But just stop for a moment and pay attention to your breathing and breathe into your anchor, and you'll find yourself being able to calm yourself and feel that you're just being that bit more mindful. And just take a mindful moment, take a little break in your day to breathe into your anchor. And that's a great practice to cultivate. So as you breathe into your anchor, as you exhale, imagine the energy going out through your feet into the earth. Breathe into your anchor and send the energy down from your feet into the earth. And it's grounding you. You may like to imagine the energy that you send down into your earth like vine leaves or roots going down into the earth, holding you fast, grounding you. And when you breathe into your anchor, you might like to breathe in up from the earth, creating a circuit as you breathe back down. Now you feel grounded in this way. Let's start to turn our attention to the full moon. Imagine yourself on the night of the full moon. You see it shining so bright. And you feel yourself in a little trance looking at this moon. It draws you outside. You want to sit and reflect and gaze at the moon. Maybe you find yourself walking up a hill. You feel the need to reach fresh air. Maybe you're familiar with this hill, maybe not. But you find yourself at the top of the hill suddenly, with a view and a fantastic view of the moon. There's a tree at the top, and you're able to sit and rest your back against the tree. And breathe into your anchor as you rest with the tree. And the moon is shining down on you, and you feel safe here. You feel yourself being encased in a bubble of silvery light. Breathe in that light. Breathe out and see the bubble. Inhale and exhale with you. Move with you. Envision the duality of Gemini within yourself. Begin to reflect on the quality of light and shade, of darkness, of shadow and light, and how there is duality in all things. The balance between intellect and emotion, between yin and yang. Without shade, you wouldn't know light. Are you ready to embrace the curiosity and adaptability symbolised by Gemini? Do you feel ready to be versatile, even when faced by challenges? Breathe in this versatile energy and allow it to flow through you easily. Allow it to flow through you just like a breath of air. And with every inhale, acknowledge now the significance of Mercury in this opposition. Feel the power of communication, mental agility, and adaptability. Breathe in easily, and as you exhale, release any mental rigidity or communication blockages. Breathe in versatile energy, and as you exhale, release any mental rigidity or communication blockages. Breathe in versatile energy, and as you exhale, release any mental rigidity or communication blockages. Embrace the fluidity of thought and expression. Welcome Mercury's influence to enhance your mental faculties. Embrace clarity and open-mindedness. As you breathe, shift your focus to the decan of Mercury, recognizing this amplification that this brings to the intellectual prowess and communicative abilities. Embrace the quick-witted nature and intellectual agility this decan signifies. This is what this full moon offers. Let this energy infuse your thoughts and perceptions, enhancing your capacity for learning and understanding. Is there something that you've been wanting to learn or take on to enhance your understanding of? This would be a great time. You know that there's challenges, with the Sagittarius Sun and the Moon in this decan, this is a great time for you to start or to set the intention. As you sit in your bubble, can you see yourself harnessing this energy now? Can you breathe in this energy from your bubble into your body? Feel it firing up your mind. Feel it rushing through your veins, entering all of your cells of your body, tingling with excitement. Breathe this energy in. And now bring your awareness back to the opposition with Mars and the square with Saturn. Recognize how Gemini's double-bodied air, its mutable nature, can assist in balancing these energies, channeling assertiveness with articulate communication and applying disciplined focus through mental clarity. As you sit in your bubble, can you see yourself balancing these energies? Can you see yourself rising to the challenge of this opposition and this square? You're prepared now. You know what challenges may come. Breathe in this energy. Feel yourself ready to face these challenges. Feel your body respond. Feel your mind rise to the challenge, alight with new ideas. New ways of solving problems. Now it's time to return. As you take your last few breaths in the bubble, reflect on if there's anything you want to see change, while you have this energy of communication, this assertiveness and this disciplined focus and mental clarity. Within the energy and release it. Release any blocks. As the bubble starts to fade, you get up, ready to return. You breathe the last of the fresh air on the top of the hill. It's cold and sharp, and you're ready to return. You gradually bring your awareness back to the present, to the room that you're in. You feel the chair you're sitting beneath you. Slowly stretch out your arms and gently move your fingers. Move your feet, move your toes. Continue to breathe. If you close your eyes, slowly open them. And keep yourself in the present moment. Carry this essence of balanced communication, mental agility, and adaptability into your day. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Please thank the planets, Mercury, Saturn, Mars, and Jupiter, and the Moon who have joined us on this journey and for what they've offered us. This mindful journey during the full moon in Gemini encourages a harmonious integration of opposing energies, emphasizing the significance of Mercury's influence within the context of Gemini's mutable, masculine and yang-oriented air nature. Hope it's helped you embrace the intellectual curiosity, the adaptability and the enhanced communication abilities, while at the same time navigating the assertive impulses of Mars and the structured guidance of Saturn. Through conscious awareness that helps us find the balance within the cosmic dance of these celestial influences. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you're enjoying my work, I'd like to remind you that my books are currently open for astrology readings and for astro coaching. With both of them, we look more closely at your planetary placements and see how I can help you navigate life at the moment. So if you'd like to know more, please contact me through my website, which is shown on the information at the bottom of this recording. Thank you so much.